My boyfriend actually went outside and saw it. Of course, I text to tell my family I'm getting in the bathtub. 30 seconds later, it hit. 10 seconds. Felt like forever. The baby was at the bottom just kind of looking at me like, what's going on? And I hovered over him and I could feel it as it came through the front of the house, and it was just shaking everything. All I could hear was stuff breaking and, things falling over, hitting the walls. And then all of a sudden I felt like something lift up, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is it. So I grabbed him harder because I thought we were going to get sucked up, but it didn't. It just passed on through. So we were going to repair the house after the tornado damage. It took me about 3 months to finally get an engineer to come out and tell me that your house is fine, you can repair it. And I was very excited. Okay, we're moving forward, we're going to start it, we're going to get this rolling. And then several hours later, my duplex neighbor called and she said, are you sitting down? And she said, well, our home was demolished. Somebody came and demolished it by mistake. And I said, what? No, that can't be right. I called my contractor and I said, hey, can you go over to the house and check it out? Somebody said they demolished it. And I'm sitting in traffic, and he calls me a few minutes later and said, yeah, it's gone. Demolition company. Their order was to go to a different house, and somehow they ended up at my house. They were supposed to go one street over. It was very upsetting, it was my first home. I was like, okay, great, I'm covered, because I was covered for the amount that I paid for. But I didn't have the knowledge to know that I need to be covered for what the house is actually worth. So we had to get a loan, and that's how we're proceeding with the rebuild. So we filed a lawsuit against Billy Neighbors Demolition. We hope that they help us pay off the loan. I found a rental home that was a little bit more than double of what I was paying. I was able to use the insurance money to pay off the remaining amount of the mortgage. They're not going to help me cover rent. 1, 2, 3. It's been 11 months since the tornado, almost a year. We were hoping to at least be in a remodeled home by this time. Having a young child, it just makes it a lot worse. You want to get a place for him to have a solid foundation and not to move around and worry about, am I going to be able to pay the rent? But then I look back and I'm like, well, there's actually a lot of people that have been through tornadoes. There's a lot of people that did struggle, and we've never heard their story. Yeah, a year later, a year and a half, sometimes even 2 years later, you're still going to struggle.